Hey there, Josie here, and you are listening or watching the Yoga Local podcast. Thank you for joining and welcome. So today I want to talk to you about yoga's not so secret weapon to personal growth, which is a concept from the practice of Kriya Yoga, Swadhyaya. And I just wanted to relay a story of my own journey through yoga, because when I came into yoga, I had the hustle and bustle, probably like most of you guys do, busy life, career, kids, responsibilities, goals, dreams that I was chasing. And at that point I really did believe that yoga was about picture perfect poses, maybe an exclusive club for those people with the most bendy bodies. Or even possibly that kind of mystical path that I didn't really understand, fueled with incense and mantras and chanting and things that I didn't really understand. And when I first signed up for yoga, it wasn't actually to become a yogi, and I think that is true of well, not most, but a lot of people who show up to class. They come to yoga for all kinds of reasons. Mine was to fix my back. I had chronic back pain, and this was brought about by ignoring my body for far too long, depleting my resources, chasing a dream to run the London Marathon, which I did. But I remember thinking, this is just, yoga was just going to be a detour on the path to my recovery. I was going to heal and then get back to who I really was, what I really wanted to do, which was go back to my running community and live that kind of life. And at no point did I think I am going to become a yogi, let alone go on to have my own yoga studio and delivering retreats and doing all this amazing stuff, right, that I'm currently getting to do. So initially it was that other route, which I feel like a lot of you might be taking, but I'm a little further ahead along the journey, and what I missed was the memo that yoga was not just about postures and poses, and I was missing, and I missed for a long time the real missing piece of the puzzle that was my overall desire to be healthy, to be well, to be thriving, to want to enjoy my life fully. And it wasn't necessarily to continue the behaviors and the habits that had got me into that state in the first place. So basically I'm sharing this with you because I don't want you to kind of miss that memo. Don't take the long route. Understand that when you come to yoga, it's a massive practice. Its scope is vast, and there are many different tools and teachings that are going to help you move towards your greatness, your potential. And Swadhyaya is this aspect of the Kriya Yoga path, which we talked about last week. The first aspect being tapas, that heat, where you have that desire to even want to go there. And then we have to kind of like make a decision to step back and really take a good, harsh look at all the things that have got us to this point, where we may be suffering, where we may not be happy with a certain aspect of our life, whether it's something in our relationships, something physical, right? Mine was back pain, something emotional, some mental instability, right? We come looking with a real desire to change something in our life. And then the Swadhyaya aspect of our practice is a way of peeling back the layers. And it's often the most difficult part of our practice, right? It's getting under the hood, getting under the surface, peeling back the layers, and actually being really kind and compassionate in what is revealed. Just like when you kind of peel away the layers of the skin, there's soreness, there's rawness, even pain, right? And it's not for the purposes of making us feel worse, but it's a process of actually really dealing with what needs to be dealt with, getting to the wound and starting to heal from the deeper layers of who we are. And then it's through this self-study that we start to develop new perspectives. We start to understand the behaviors. We understand that we're maybe living in a mode of autopilot, of always doing things in the same way, delivering a result, maybe taking our habits and ways of being and doing based on somebody else's life, because that is what we have kind of boxed as the route to success. But we're not really driving towards the things that we need, that we are kind of connected to on a very deep, intelligent level, that will help us to thrive, that will help us to grow. So yeah, when you first dive into Swadhyaya, it's going to be triggering, and I think it stays pretty triggering. Like, it's just a question of you just keep going deeper, and you realize that you've built so many buttons that trigger you into certain behaviors, that it's no wonder that you've become this reactive, kind of often highly strung individual that can't see another way of being and doing in some cases. But the good news is that those buttons, we built them. Often we give them a big red sign saying push me, you know, and we often blame other people for pushing our buttons, but we're the ones that put them there in the first place. So it's about disarming those triggers. It's about looking and seeing what triggers you've built, what conditioned behaviors you've built, where your reactivity lies, where you can make changes and transform. Like, we are not fixed and solid beings. That's what the yoga tradition reminds us all the time. Like, our bodies are ever changing, our minds are ever changing, our thoughts and our feelings come and go, thank goodness. It's only when we hang on and we grasp on to things that we suffer. And it's in that recognizing that most things are not permanent, that we find freedom to make adjustments and move on and find the forgiveness or find the gratitude or whatever it takes to heal what we uncover and is something that we want to move on from. And it's in that transformation that we evolve, and then we get kind of a new platform from which to stand and look at our life. And then maybe we have to go in a little deeper again to see what the next layer uncovers, right? So I can't emphasize enough that yes, you will do all the things that you expect from a traditional asana-based class. The postures, the poses are all there, but they're just tools to help us go inwards and do this unlayering, do this self-study work. You can do it in posture practice, but there's other ways of doing that in your meditation, in contemplation, through your mantra japa, through journaling, and all of these practices are designed to help you in different ways. And it may be that you really warm to certain practices over others, and that's okay. It's not that prescriptive that you have to do it all, right? Like, you just have to know what you're working towards, and that's this deep knowing of who you are when you're kind of free of all the conditioning, all the unhelpful thinking that you've acquired over the years. And when you eventually can stand in your own skin and come from that place where you're truly aligned to who you are, and you can like go out into the world and be all that you can be. Now that is super attractive, way more attractive than, you know, creating this ideal body image, this ideal posture in some scantily clad arrangement on Instagram, which society tells us is sexy. This is way sexier. Being yourself is the ultimate way of attracting people to you and lighting others up, lighting yourself up essentially as well. So, benefits of Swadhyaya, let's just break it down. You'll identify your emotional triggers, and that makes you more resilient. You can start to toughen up. Relationships will start to get more real. You'll realize the flaws in your communication. When things seem to be looping over and over and you're not getting heard, you might be able to start to find a way through that repetitive conversation. Your focus starts to increase, your mind starts to sharpen, you'll become more decisive because you'll know who you are, you'll be more aligned to your own truth, and you'll be able to make those decisions that you're not going to be swayed from, because you know them on a deep level to be the right way forward for you. And then you start to level up because you're going to start to explore all your hidden talents, all the things that you've been gifted with to bring out into the world to help serve yourself and those people around you. So you're going to really bloom and grow into the beautiful expression of nature that you are. Okay, so Swadhyaya, self-study, second part of the Kriya Yoga concept. We're going to be moving into the third part next week. If you're really interested in learning more about these principles and ideas and teachings, this is what we're here to deliver. This is what I'm really passionate about, is taking you on that next level experience of what yoga can be, exploring the full scope of yoga, the complete practice, from posture to meditation to pranayama to mudra to mantra, and to take away all that mysticism, all that myth, all that idea that it's for those people who are a little woo or a little flaky. Really, we need to start to move away from those ideas. They are misconceptions. That's conditioned thinking. It's holding us back. It's holding the tradition back. It's holding you back from being all you can be. So if this is interesting to you, follow us. Come and join us in our member app if you're not local. Or if you are local, you can come and start practicing here with us in our studio in Wellingborough. There's absolutely no excuses to join us, because we've literally got online offers, we've got on-demand offers, and we've got in-person offers. And although it often seems a little like I can be super serious and super intense, it's only because I'm so passionate about what this practice can do for you if it's taught as it's meant to be taught, and also if you have the right practices kind of fed to you in ways that you can relate to, that are not all or nothing, and that can really start to handhold you through your own journey that is life, and discovering who you are and all that you can be. So all the links, all the information should be included in and around this video or this podcast. So go out, dig it out, and hopefully I'll get to see you on a mat soon. Okay, bye for now.